Hello everyone, my name is Jared Hung, and today we'll be talking about heroes. And what is a hero personally, It's not usually like a comic book character, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's someone different than that, Sure, you may have police officers, firefighters, EMTs, who else, serve for the public and for the good. But for me, what defines a hero for me is a person who is generous, courageous, a teacher, a person of seniority, plus a person who's really influenced you personally as an individual to become who you are today. So, otherwise, in talking about heroes, there can't be just one hero. There could be many heroes, if you know what I'm talking about. You can't just have one person influencing your life in terms of you know, becoming who you are today. A hero could be many heroes. It's a figure. You can't just have one hero. It's all similar to favoritism. You can't really have favoritism in terms of who you have. It's a hero. Now, who are my heroes? Obviously, and for the first, most importantly, my parents. They financially helped me through hard times. And plus my hard times, without them, I would not be having a good education. I would not be pursuing my dream as an airline pilot without the money and the motivation from my parents to do so. Unlike other parents, my parents encouraged me and they were very open-minded. Open-minded. And I see that lacking towards other people. They're figures. And I'm glad I have my parents. Second hero of mine. He is like a grandfather to me. No words can describe him. General Fred Chiu, a World War II pilot, a fighter pilot, for the National Chinese Republic Air Force. And he fought against the Japanese, and he himself had suffered wounds from bullets going through his cheek. You know how painful that is, right? A bullet going through his cheek. He's been through some hard times, and especially if you knew Chinese history. It was not good times back then, back in the 30s and 40s. For him, and for me, when I first met him, he was the sort of guy, you can get really personal with, you can really, he's a down-to-earth, pretty open-minded guy. And he inspired me to become a pilot myself. And plus, he gave me that personality of what you know me as, the courageous pilot, of course. And, once he passed away, it was kind of pretty sad. I couldn't stop crying for days on end. And he was not even related to me in any way. I treat him as a grandfather of mine. Now, talking about other heroes, when I was working on my private pilot certificate, I was going through very, very hard times. During that time, I lost motivation to pursue as a pilot. And being a private pilot is obviously the first license to work on. So to the first flight school that I went, that flight school rejected me, even after years of hard work. A single year of hard work, I mean, but a lot of money spent on it and saving up throughout these years just to get that single pilot certificate. So they rejected me, and I had nowhere to go until a flight instructor that I knew when I met as a kid. He was holding me as a baby back then, so I guess I knew him pretty well for 20 years. He accepted me. He was like another father to me. Very influential, and he was also a teacher at SCAD. Savannah College of Arts and Design. He really helped me throughout my life, and he guided me, and especially he came up to me during those hard times, and I looked up to him. You know, he never said no. He helped me, and he took all his time and energy just for me as a student. And I'm grateful for having him as my flight instructor back then. And I thank him now for my increased motivation to become a pilot now. And lastly, you know how I got into cars, right? It wasn't from high school or middle school or elementary school. It was not from my parents. It was actually, in fact, from my freshman college group. You know, back then I wasn't really open about my friendship. I was a pretty quiet individual, if you know what I mean. Once I was in college, there was no stress of being bullied when you came up and had friends, compared to high school, of course. College really made me open and open-minded in a way where I was open to hobbies. When I first joined the aeronautics club at Middle Georgia State University, there was this guy, the president of the club, very influential. He was good at all the things that he does, and yet now he's also a flight instructor. He's back in the club, but not the president anymore, of course. But still, he's even currently helping me now. My flight stuff. Otherwise, he and the other friend groups within the aeronautics club, they were going to all these Wednesday night car meets in Eastern Georgia. And I was wondering, wow, this looks so fun, And so I decided to come up there in my boring Honda Odyssey first time. They were pretty chill with me. They didn't make fun of my car or anything else because I was driving a mom van, of course. I felt like that was family to me. So that's how I got into cars. It's not just about the mechanics of a car, which I also do love, but it's about the family that accepts you. Family. And now look at me. I currently drive a turbocharged Subaru WRX, and I'm becoming more popular now within the car community because all they did was accept me as a family. Without them, I would not have learned all these valuable life lessons, not just cars, but just family and friends, taking it to another meaning. It made me really more open about myself. It made me enjoy life even more. And hence why I should say cars really changed my life during my college rising years.